Welcome to another edition of That's Debatable. My name is Ryan Dietrich, here with my guy Will Ward, and behind the desk, as always, my man AD. Jeremiah will be here shortly. You can count on that. It's been a busy week in the sports world. Stanley Cup's over, NBA drafts going on, Brittany Griner trial was happening, Deshaun's in hot water, NBA free agencies all over the place. WNBA is full swing, getting ready for the All-Star game for them. College football never stops, the NFL never stops. So, we got a lot to cover tonight, guys and gals. But we're going to start it off with my guys and Will's guys. The Colorado Avalanche stole the thunder from the Tampa Bay Lightning, clinching Game 6. The Avalanche win the Stanley Cup 4-2. Good Game 3. It was close. They win 2-1. But, man, that third period was awfully lopsided. The Avs smelt blood in the water and put the pressure on for sure. Jared Bednar's first trophy with the team. He's been the coach for 5 years now. His first season in 2017. They were the worst team in the NHL. Had a league low 48 points just 5 years ago. Nathan McKinnon was new to the squad. Landeskog had been there some years getting tired, so it's been a long time coming. Eric Johnson, longtime Av. He's been with the team for, I think, 12 years now. So excited to get him a cup. So Denver, the party is tomorrow. If you're in Denver watching, the Stanley Cup parade takes place in Denver tomorrow morning, I believe.
Catching a flight tonight?
Yeah, that's right, man. As soon as we're out of here, headed out there. That's Debatable on the road, live from the Stanley Cup parade. Maybe next year, after they win it again.
Back to back. I like how you saying that, man.
You got it, man. They're built for it. They're ready right now. That defense is beefy. Obviously, I mean, the offseason, they'll have lots of things to do. I don't know where contracts are, who's free agents, something like that. The big names are signed up mostly, but it's going to be up to the front office to make some moves and keep the squad together. But, man, They looked impressive. And, hats off to Tampa, too.
Right. Hey, it was going to be hard for them to do a three-peat, but I like what Kemper and the guy that goes by Lehkonen and McKinnon, those guys just look awesome the whole entire playoffs. And, by sitting next to you for weeks on end, I kind of seen it coming, and you kind of preempted it and foreshadowed it a little bit more. But just to see the excitement of the Stanley Cup playoffs and the speed of it, that's why I kind of fell in love with even more, man. Those shots that Kemper was having, he had 23 shots in that final Game 6, saving 22 of them. And just seeing some of the ones that he had, the athleticism that a goalie has to possess.
It's crazy.
And I got a newfound respect for those guys. So shout out to the Colorado Avalanche. And, hey, man, go Avs.
On to the next one. Dude, yeah, goalie athleticism.
Yeah. On
full display in the finals for sure. Got a lot of respect for those guys. It was fast-paced, hard-hitting. And the one thing I like about it is the lack of commercials, man.
Right.
Dude, so, that's the great thing. NFL, man, after a kickoff, there's a commercial. Before the extra point, there's a commercial. After the extra point, there's a commercial. It's just nonstop. And with hockey, I mean, you'll have a good, 15 minutes, 20 minutes commercial-free.
They actually have TV breaks in NBA and in NHL. Or, excuse me, NBA. So, I don't know, man. The speed of the game and the aggressiveness of, some of the shots that you would see those guys take and having to keep getting back up and keep fighting. Like I said, I got a found love for NHL, but I got to give a huge shout out to the goalies because you don't come out when you're in the net.
Dude, right.
You see the line changes come back and forth, but to actually have to stay there and take shots on and keep going for your team is more than phenomenal.
Dude, right. And like I mentioned earlier, that third period, of Game 6, the Avalanche had that puck in the Lightning zone. I mean, 15 of the 20 minutes. They outshot them, I think, 14-6. It was awfully one-sided with just the pressure and the forecheck from the Avalanche. And so Vasilevsky did a hell of a job not giving up any goals. His team was still down 1, but, you talk about that just for, that constant on the lookout. And just left to right, the splits, the flexibility, the strength, shit. I mean, they get ran into, they get bowled over.
Right.
Guys in the crease banging each other. It started to get a little bit chippy. That's what I like to see. That Pat Maroon, man, after every whistle, he's nudging somebody, elbowing somebody, throwing a stick here and there. It's just that, But that's what you want. That's why they got that guy is, they want that type of play from him.
It's the big hits.
Man, there are some good hits, too. The Avalanche are next year's odds-on favorite. Everybody always likes to talk about that the day after.
Right. Early favorites.
Dude, right before the draft, before free agency, any of that stuff. Early favorites, Tampa Bay Lightning are up there again. I know the Panthers are up there, and I was trying to think of the other.
I would expect for the Lightning to be up there somewhere.
Yep, yeah, Lightning are in there, Panthers, and maybe the Flames, somebody like that. So if you're into betting the futures, you can get the Avs right now for like 4-1 money, I think.
Where's our hometown Blue Jackets? Where are they falling in at? You guys think it's anywhere possible that they make playoffs even? I know Stanley Cup's a long push, but at least the playoffs. What do you think about that?
I mean, obviously, this early on, you got to like their chances. They had a pretty good squad last year. They had a whole bunch of injuries to deal with. Balancing that out, COVID was another thing. But they took quite a few injuries in the middle of the season. The good thing about that is that the Columbus Blue Jackets had quite a their backups, and some of their young guys got quite a bit of ice time. Got a little bit of early practices on, and they weren't entirely out of the playoff race until late in the game. So they make the right kind of moves, a piece here or there, like we sat down with Bob, like he was saying. They'll be right back in it. So, look for the Blue Jackets to edge their way into the playoffs, I would think.
You got to go with them. The hometown favorite. I would definitely love to see those guys make a push for the playoffs. It's all this. You can see the city getting excited around playoff time. You got the Clippers down there, and that whole entire nationwide atmosphere is electric.
You bet.
So it'd be lovely to see those guys make it, into the playoffs.
Yep, always good for the area, give interest, those things like that. So
Columbus Crew also. I think you can have a triple threat
there you go.
One point down there. The Crew, the Blue Jackets, and the Clippers can all be playing at one time. So
that makes for a busy weekend here in the C-Bus.
Hey.
All right, speaking of Columbus, Ohio sports, we're going to move up to Cleveland. Talk about a little bit about, I was trying to think of inappropriate Watson, DeHansy Watson, something like that. Deshaun Watson settling his cases, settling 20 of the 24. But he had his hearing, I guess, yesterday, and it continued into today. The NFL has recommended a full 1-year suspension for Deshaun Watson. He sat out all of last year in an attempt to kind of preempt this whole thing and not have to deal with this.
Right.
But that was the recommendation. So let's see what comes out of the hearing and see what the ultimate ruling is. The even bigger update is our guy, Jared Bays, is in the building. What's up, Brody?
What up?
How you doing?
You know I was tuned in and everything. You already know.
The grind never stops.
Oh my goodness! You know what? The grind at the other top gonna have to stop. We're gonna have to focus on what really matters. But right now, that's not what really matters. And what matters, I know y'all just jumped to Deshaun Watson. Just want to give my quick flowers to the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, there we go.
They definitely did their thing. I'm still impressed with Tampa Bay. That's still gonna be my team from here on out. Shout out to the Blue Jackets, though. That's the hometown team. But they fought to the very end, man. I think they could not get a goal. They even took their goalie out at the last. Trying to get everything. They fought. All I ask is for in defeat. Oh yeah, in defeat. Just give it your all. Leave it all on the table. Don't go out there and be a, Jason Tatum or Devin Booker. Where we sending shots. Pow, pow, pow. Yeah, I'm on it. But
early.
I just want to kudos to the Colorado Avalanche. It wasn't if it would have been something like a game 2 type game 6. Oh, then I'm like that would have been like heartbreaking. Like nah, they laid it all out on the ice, man. That's all I can ask for in defeat. Shout out to the Avalanche.
Dude, you got that right, man. Laying it all out on the ice. That's again, the beauty of hockey is just till the end. But yeah, you caught the quick Deshaun Watson. You know what's going on. So we're taking it up to Cleveland area. Things are hot and wild. Deshaun recommended 1-year suspension. What are you guys' thoughts?
Well, I've been on this for a while.
Yeah,
I've been saying, unfortunately, but knowing how the NFL do and the times that we're in this sensitive society, And with the whole Me Too movement and everything, we just know that it was going to be backlash. It was going to be more stuff. And if he would have went out there and been able to perform week 1, it would have been some extra protests, all types of stuff. They're trying to avoid everything. I still feel like the Texans threw Deshaun under the bus. I still don't like this copy and paste stuff. I still feel like Deshaun a little bit nasty, but all of this is extra, man. But now, knowing how the NFL is for real, it's just I already knew it. 1 year suspension. I already called it. Like you said maybe 4. You said possibly 8.
Yep.
Nah, it was gonna be a 1. He was gonna be out for 2 years, and then when he come back, maybe he's gonna be blazing. We gonna see.
You can forget how to play football.
No way that man can forget how to play football. And I understand, the names that they are deeming him with of nasty, freak, inappropriate, masseuse lover, or whatever you want to deem him. I like the game of D-Watt, and I thought that they were going to try for at least 8 maximum, and 4 could be the minimum because of what they had in the legal aspect. Everything that went to court nothing happened. And the allegations that the ladies are coming with are almost cookie cutter and cut and paste. But, I mean, the allegations are enough for themselves, and to have that negative attention on the Shield, I think that's what brings him to the possible heavy suspension. So, I mean, if we have any lady viewers right now, I would love to get the takes of the actual female's perspective and what they think about it, because as a man, we all can have our thoughts. Men can be nasty, vicious or whatever, but I don't want to say I side with them, but I don't see all the way. It wasn't as bad as what we have seen in sports and different genres from your Robert Kellys,
right?
Because that wasn't R. Kelly, it was Robert, first of all. And your Bill Cosby's, your Robert Kraft's right there in the NFL.
Right.
So when Robert Kraft got no suspension, he was actually found to be in the masseuse and the.
He was on camera.
Yeah, but you seen no repercussions from him. So 1 year suspension is a little above, even though what he had 66 women that he hit up and DM this many. I think some of it was consensual. And that's one thing that majority was consensual. And even the ones that was said, "Oh, I didn't want this to happen. I didn't want to do this." Never was said to stop.
Follow through.
So, I mean, that's why I say 4 games or minimum 8 games maximum, because you tarnish the identity of the Shield. So, negative publicity is sometimes good publicity, and we're seeing it still quarterback controversy in Cleveland right now. So, I'm pretty sure that's going to lead us right into Baker somewhere pretty soon.
Yeah, and and to comment on the Browns organization being the Browns, man, they did their due diligence. And, looking into Deshaun Watson, they thought everything was clear. So whether or not they actually did any due diligence, I mean, look at the mess they got themselves into. So maybe if they would have actually done something or looked into it, maybe they just thought the same thing as I did, like, wipe this under the table, sad as time, let them roll. But Cleveland likes to get themselves into messes, and that's what they've done this year. Potentially having a role.
Usually they're the mess, though.
Yeah. Well, they are the mess. They might be rolling out Jacoby Brissett behind center this year.
That's just disrespectful, man.
To who?
And
that's just disrespectful.
To the city of Cleveland?
Bro, after all this man
or to Jacoby.
Nah, it ain't. Jacoby is a backup.
Jacoby real close to being a starter right now.
That's the thing,
No. That's debatable.
Yep, that's for sure debatable. But that's the thing, that's what he means. Like, who you disrespecting? Like, Jacoby Brissett is
Baker Mayfield, man.
Baker don't want to play in Cleveland.
That baby is soured.
Man, listen here. Baker is short on his options. Listen, hey,
yes, he is.
Baker. I ain't got your middle name.
You ain't starting
I'm
anywhere.
big on the middle name thing, but I ain't got his middle name. But Baker Mayfield, listen here. Put on your big boy pants and go play football for that team and handle your business. They need you. They need you. You need them. It's a win-win. Now, unless you go out there losing. But I don't see that happening because I feel like it's a fire lit up under you. 2-time walk-on. The man planted right there. The man planted the flag. The man planted the flag. You got to have some big cojones. Big cojones. And ever since I've been a Baker Mayfield fan. And that's why I've been riding the Baker Mayfield train. He came in and done a lot for the Browns. They've been building. They built a strong defense. They got them with a solid quarterback. and a solid run game. You know, they give it to Hyde and what's my man that was from Kansas City?
You giving it
Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, Hunt. He really didn't have. I mean, you know,
That's their go-to. It's not really Baker's ship that they're floating on. Baker is a game manager, and that's what you need him to do. You don't see him making no game
every
winning
quarterback's
drives.
a game manager.
Nah,
Nah.
you got
They just
some
manage
of
the
them.
game in different
You
ways.
got some of them that manage and
all
can
right.
take over a game,
still
i.e.
manage-
Deshaun Watson.
And that's still-
That's why they're paying that man as many dollars.
And guess
as
what? They
did.
both got one playoff win.
Nah, but the thing is, you can see a bright side. You can see a future. You can see something that has preempted a positive swing into going into the D-Watt movement. And you can see, I don't know what you see in Baker Mayfield
How's it a
besides all
positive
those State
swing?
Farm commercials.
I mean, don't get me
You
wrong.
get excited from the commercials. That's what it is, huh?
Nah, I mean,
Yeah.
the
You like his
commercials-
acting, right?
The
I do.
commercials was cool. Don't act like they wasn't. Don't act like.
I know. I know what you
I mean,
like.
I feel like I could have did a better acting job, you know, for Progressive. You know, get at me.
You know what?
But besides the point, the Deshaun Watson era is starting in turmoil. So it's not you know
Nah, turmoil.
it is.
It
Deshaun
was
Watson
kind of
is
it
in
was
hot
aided
water.
and abetted by the new defendant
But,
of the Houston Texans who have aided him all this time, have put in enough work to help him, you know, by him signing the contracts,
Right.
the non-disclosure contracts, giving him hotels. It's not just D-Watt's fault, but hey, you put yourself in those situations. That's why he's here.
The
Hey,
Deshaun
what
Watson
allegations
era,
Baker got?
and the Deshaun Watson era
Not
hasn't
being able
even
to ball.
it hadn't even started in
You
Cleveland.
ain't watching versus,
Until Deshaun
Bengals?
gets on the field, there is no Deshaun in Cleveland. Like,
True.
I mean, his era hasn't started yet. Deshaun will be judged by how he plays on the field in Cleveland.
well, it started.
All this stuff, it doesn't
It's
matter.
all
He
field
ain't even
allegations.
got a Browns jersey yet. I mean,
Yeah,
what's his career
was
with the
just
Browns
I
so
was just
far?
in the mall
Nothing,
and
you
I
know
just
what I
seen
mean?
D. Watson jersey.
right. But as far as his era get going, he ain't. Once he steps on that field, it's gonna be. People got a short memory, and if he starts tearing it up on the field, they're gonna forget all about it next season. In the meantime, do you guys know if Jacoby Brissett has any playoff wins?
I don't think so.
We're gonna have to look that up at break.
I know I think he's taking the
Exactly.
Colts or the Patriots.
Brissett has got a good career. I mean, you're right. He's a backup, but he steps in and he plays well. His ceiling isn't as high as Baker's, but his floor and his turnover capability isn't as low as Baker's either. The big mistake potential from Baker is greater than the big mistake potential from Brissett. And so all the Browns are going to have to do is tailor their game plan a little bit and just avoid the big Baker mistakes that they won't have to avoid because Baker ain't going to be there. I mean, as far as like a game manager, Brissett can go out there and get it done. They aren't going to be taking deep shots. They're not going to have that downfield threat, but that's not what they're going to be about. You know what I mean? And that's how you win football games. Good defense, control the ball, don't make mistakes. So Brissett, I think, can step in and do just fine. But I was saying this all last year. Let's get Case Keenum in there and bench Baker and get Baker onto surgery. You know what I mean?
He's not
So-
on the roster no more, I don't think. But I don't know, man. I'm all for Baker.
All right.
I-
Yep. I do. I get you. He's a likable guy, but I mean, he's polarizing. I'll say that.
That's
You
You
definitely
either like him or you
He's
don't
definitely
like him.
that's definitely
Man,
true.
you've seen him with the Tigers, and you see all of his, you know, his antics and entertainment value. But I still don't know if he can carry a team past the second round of the playoffs. He
Right.
got through
Right.
against the Steelers.
Barely.
I thought
couple
they
years
blew
ago.
him out.
They might have blown him
I thought
out,
it
but
was a
still, it's the
blowout.
Steelers,
It's-
man.
yeah, man.
That's an easy.
And it's the Browns, and that's a rivalry.
Not impressed
When the
by
last time
Baker.
the Bengals beat the Steelers in the playoffs?
Hey man, it's a whole new
I mean, I
season
know you
coming
went to
up.
the Super Bowl.
It's a lot coming
I'm
up
just
in
saying,
the
you
future.
know how big that
we
is.
ain't focused
All right.
on Cincinnati right now. We ain't
Not
talking
yet.
about Cincinnati right
Not
now.
yet.
Listen.
We'll mention Cincinnati eventually. So you're talking about dudes who get it done on the field. We're going to move forward a little bit. Talking about dudes who get it done on the field is scary Terry McLaurin. I don't know if you saw the news. I'm sure you did. Terry got paid. There's his bag right there. 3 years, $70 million. We'll have to try and remember who's throwing him the ball in Washington because I can't off the
It's
top.
now
Carson
be
Wentz.
Carson Wentz.
So
Walk it to him wins.
walk it to him. Baker, you got it. Baker, go apply in Washington right now.
I mean, that's a decent job.
All right,
too.
so Terry though,
But
man,
they traded for Wentz, so it's like
3 years, 70 mil. Like it? Is he worth it? Pay
Yeah.
that man, right? He's
Yeah.
a stud.
definitely pay him. Otherwise, he's gonna want to demand out like everybody else. Because he's definitely a stud. I'll give you that.
And it's getting out of control. The one thing I do like about his contract is it's only 3 years.
Yeah.
Most of them 4 or 5, stuff like that. I like kind of that short time frame, and he's peaking. Definitely a big weapon for Carson Wentz. So let's keep talking about dollar bills. Wide receivers are going off the rails. And I was reading on 49ers Twitter today, they might get a deal done with Deebo Samuel. So I've got this list right in front of you of all the new deals. That's their guaranteed money. And that's courtesy of
Cooper Kupp is well
Spot
deserved.
Track. There we go. Thank you, sir. Courtesy of Spot Track, new Twitter handle I found specializing in pro sports contracts. Just stand there and hold that out.
Cooper Kupp is well deserved.
Yep, 75.
But
look at that, all guaranteed
he's
above
starting this
39.
season hurt.
All right, thanks, AD. You're good. You can sit her
You
down.
got it, man. Appreciate it.
All right, so Debo, always, he thinks he's the best receiver in the game.
His
Arguably.
His argument reminds me of the Le'Veon Bell argument. It's because I catch the ball, I run the ball, do this, so I'm trying to be paid as a top running back and a top receiver.
I was thinking about Jimmy Graham, too. George Kittle, Travis Kelce. I'm not a tight end. I'm a wide receiver.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of thing. So, man, I want the Niners to roll out the money for him, but,
your quarterback's still on a rookie deal.
But how much money we rolling out? And that's the beauty of it, But Trey Lance, big question mark. No way around that.
He's going to ball, man.
They're going to roll out behind him, and I hope you're right. But we'll see.
Kyle Shanahan.
But also, if they got Deebo Samuel in the backfield or out slot, that's a big help to a rookie QB.
It is.
So I say, that's a big part of my argument. If you want to roll out Trey Lance on this rookie deal, excuse me, you're going to have to pay Deebo. So, you guys think they're going to get it done?
Yeah, otherwise he's going to demand out. I can see Deebo. I said Le'Veon because in a way, I can see Deebo holding out. That's why I said Le'Veon. George Kittle and them still played.
Right.
I think they got paid. Kittle got paid, right? A couple years ago.
Yeah.
After that Super Bowl run, maybe. But I just think I can see Deebo definitely doing the Le'Veon thing, and maybe not sitting out for no full season, but just to hold their feet to the fire.
Le'Veon's a good comp because Debo's been rocking that red ski mask. Le'Veon, he always used to wear the black one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They've been calling him the Red Ninja. He's rolling around just like this red span. It looks like Kanye with his Gip mask or whatever.
Man, you paid a man. When you know yourself, you know your worth, and that's why you see Deebo threaten to sit out. Deebo is probably 90% of that 49ers offense. So when you're a Swiss Army knife, like that's what they call him, a gadget type of back, when
ATH,
whatever you want to do, you're making sure he's getting you your production. So why not pay him? And he's not only just bringing you production on the field, he's doing it in the marketing department. He's making sure that the jerseys are selling,
carrying that boombox out the
all
locker
the way.
room,
Got all type of publicity aimed in on the 49ers. So why not? Why
sells
not
tickets, right?
Yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to sell tickets.
Put asses in the seats.
That's what you're looking
man
for,
that does
man.
it.
And he's not only putting them in the seat, he's making sure that he's putting them up on the scoreboard. He's making sure that he's showing you the production on the field. So why not pay him? Why not making him a leader of an asset to your team? I'm saying pay the man. Cash is king.
Throw it out.
And
I like it.
As far as the receivers, some of them prima donna. Some of them are, real top-notch athletes. But as far as them getting the top dollar, as far as behind the quarterbacks, quarterbacks are always going to be number one. But I think the leader
some
of
them
the
receivers
defense,
make the quarterback though.
Yeah, true indeed.
You got that right.
But looking at that list of those names and the money that they getting, our guys are still on rookie deals. Jamar Chase, who's about to start his second season, and Justin Jefferson, who's about to start his third season. I just wonder when it's time for them boys to get paid. If they keep, which I think so, that they're going to keep. I don't see it slowing down. I don't see them slowing down.
No way.
I don't see no dip.
No second-year jinx. Your boy JJ, he didn't have a sophomore.
No, he had a better season.
All right.
He went out there and got 1,600 yards.
He's gotten better every year.
And I think the competition between him and Jamar Chase, I think that intensifies that matchup.
It's a real beef between the fans of each other. of the
Justin right here.
No, me and him, ironically, we don't got the beef. It's a lot of other Cincinnati. Where the camera at? A lot of other Cincinnati fans out there that I've just been the whole Jamar Chase is better than Jefferson thing. I'm gonna never be a part of that. No, Jamar Chase is great. The young man is a phenom. But I'm gonna always go with JJ.
Man, I bet Odell Beckham's sad that we ain't having his name in this conversation.
It's his fault. He got unfortunately he got injured in the Super Bowl when he was about to have a big game. Like he was balling in the beginning,
and he might have that kind of season next year.
I think he's going back to the Rams. So,
yeah.
Right now he's got to heal up and see what happens in November.
Yeah. Do it again.
December. He'll be ready by then.
I wouldn't be surprised, and mark my words,
But
you can see a return. Exactly.
He's not going back to Cleveland
because of the money. You know,
only person who ever went back to Cleveland lived
is Braun.
no, yeah, it's Braun, but it's because he lived there. They leave Cleveland. And some leave twice, which is still Braun.
Right.
But you don't go back to Cleveland unless you're Baker Mayfield. Stay in Cleveland.
Why not go and help out with Watson if he's there?
He's not going to be there
next year.
So tomorrow when the alligator,
you say why not?
Yeah.
So do you see the Browns in the Super Bowl?
Or
do you see the Browns winning the AFC North?
That would be
man,
like
all right then. So why would he go help them?
Do you mean that would be in 2 years?
Yeah. And he'll
in
be
2 years,
he'll be
2 years time. Exactly. Watson's out of here. ODB, OBJ. Let's call him ODB. He's hurt till what? Yeah, November.
True.
In 3 years, you're going to see Deshaun and Odell Beckham in the Super Bowl for the Browns.
Nah, man.
Get that
Unless
stuff out of here.
Some type of AP speedy recovery, I don't even see it happening. So
that's debatable.
But no, man. I think Odell will go back. Since you brought up Odell, I think he'll go back to the Rams.
I think
when it's all said and done. I think he might take whatever money they throw.
Right, he should. He's got a nice fit and a good team. And with that,
I am really worried about what Justin Jefferson going to do. In your case for Chase, the Bengals don't pay.
We pay him though.
We're gonna.
Did y'all pay Chad?
That's different, man.
It's
a new era.
This is a new era of Bengals football, and we might get to that here after the break. But that's a very good question you bring up. Bengals don't pay people. But we're going to keep it rolling with wide receiver discussion here in the state of Ohio after a short commercial break here on That's Debatable.
John Tortorella with the Philadelphia Flyers. Match made in heaven is what I say. Oh, come on. Philadelphia. Go back to the old days of the Broad Street Bullies when they used to beat everybody up. John Tortorella is, if there is not a more perfect fit in the National Hockey League, I don't know what it is. This is where he belongs. And I laugh, too, because, John Tortorella was with the Blue Jackets for 6 years.
Yep.
And I have a very good relationship with him, and I loved interviewing him. And I remember we were in Philly one time, and I said to him, at the end of my interviews, I always try to give him kind of a jab to make fun of him or something lighthearted. Yeah. And I said, boy, you'll love being on that bench tonight here. The Philly people really love you, huh? And he goes, oh, don't even get me going. They hate me here. They hate me. And that goes back to when he was coaching the Tampa Bay Lightning, and he coached them to a Stanley Cup championship. Ken Hitchcock at the time was in Philadelphia. They were battling Philly in the playoffs, and he told Hitchcock, shut your yap. And the next game, and he told me the story, the next time they came back to Philly, the bus backs down the hill and parks down by the loading dock.
Right.
And the people, the parking lot for the regular fans is now up above you, and there's a railing there. They were all standing there booing him, ready to throw stuff at him when he got off the bus at the next game after he said that about Hitchcock. So the Philadelphia fans have never loved John Tortorella. They've hated him. They're going to love him. They love him today. They'll love him more in September. I think he's a perfect fit there.
Speaking of DC, though, I did love a little thing in New Way Home when Flash was holding the Flashpoint book. That's kind of
Yes.
a ha-ha, we did the multiverse before you did. But I'm excited for the Flash this year, too, for DC.
Absolutely.
That's coming out. I'm excited to see that, see Keaton back as Batman. You know, we give DC shit, and it's very deservedly so. They've screwed up a lot, and they don't seem to know what the hell they're doing. And it keeps changing, and they keep rebooting.
Yeah.
And then rebooting again. And then rebooting again. And then bringing back the old one with the new cut. It's just, DC's a mess.
It's unorganized, just like, I don't know.
Star
I mean,
Wars.
just like I was gonna say, just like Star Wars.
And
so.
I really, really wanted to like Wonder Woman, and I liked the first one.
First one's great.
Wonder Woman 84 is the worst movie I've seen in my life.
One of the worst movies ever.
I was laying with my fiance, and after it was over, I turned to her. I'm like, "Did you like that?" She was like, "Eh." I'm like, "Good. I don't feel bad going."
Exactly.
Boo! I booed the movie
I did the same
from
thing.
my bed. I'm like, it was so bad.
I did the same thing. I didn't have to bring it up. Emily brought it up. She's like, "This is bad."
Yeah, it
like,
was such a
it
bad
is.
movie. And they
It's
brought her
really
back,
bad.
and they're like, please do announce that Patty Jenkins is directing the third one. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah. Right.
It was just, you know.
But you know what? It got thrown in the mud so bad that they can't help but realize, okay, what we did didn't work.
Right. And they just retold the Monty's Paw? They just retold that story. And they even referenced the story. Like, they took inspiration. No, you just redid the Monty's Paw.
Welcome back, fans. Let's see, this is period number 2 of That's Debatable. Let's keep it hockey. We got 3 periods, 2 intermissions.
Right,
I like it. All right, man, I'm all ready for hockey next year. God damn, it's just so exciting.
You know what? I ain't even lying. I'm ready to go to some games.
Oh, man, it's on. That's Debatable.
Where's
It's
his
going on the
stat?
road.
Oh, man. Where's his stat? Oh, there
All right, so where we left off, wide receiver talk. We were talking about big contracts in the NFL, but to get paid in the NFL, you got to start somewhere, and a good place to start if you're a wide receiver at the college level is the Ohio State University. I don't know if I got to pay money for using that trademark or not, but whatever. So, Brian Hartline, former wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins. He also was a former wide receiver here at the Ohio State University. Is the Buckeyes wide receiver coach. And dude is bringing it in. He's got 3 of the top 10 wide receiver recruits of next class coming in, and they're coming into an already full Buckeye room with Jackson Smith and Jigba and
Harrison Smith Jr. Oh, Harrison
and
Smith. Marvin Harrison Jr.
Marvin Harrison Jr. So the room is loaded. He had 3 draft picks go back to back to back. I think 10, 11, and 12, or 11, 12, 13, something like that.
But do the one count since he's leaving from Bama?
Kind of.
Jameson Williams.
Yeah, he's kind of on that fence, but he was a former
He was
Buckeye.
Ohio State too. We claim him.
He started here.
There's a picture of them 3 on the field.
That's right. I mean, he had one. He started here. He just had 1 year in Bama. So, is Ohio State the new wide receiver U? And I guess in recent history, I had always heard LSU had kind of given up DBU. Ohio State took over DBU for a while with a bunch of those boys. So LSU being the former wide receiver U is where I'm going to throw it with Jamar Chase, Odell Beckham Jr., Justin Jefferson. There's a couple more in there that I can't think of at the moment. But Ohio State, man, if you want to play wide receiver, come here. You also got C.J. Stroud throwing you the ball. So tell me, is Ohio State the new wide receiver U?
I mean,
Or just is it and still is, has been?
I mean, I say it's one of, maybe not the wide receiver U, but it's definitely we holding we got some nice names in the league.
So where else is, man?
I mean, I don't want to this is the part where it's a little bit tricky because, you know, I'm just trying to not put us in that pedestal. That's really all I'm trying not to do.
I just do it.
I'll just do it.
Don't be afraid, man.
Don't be afraid.
I'm not afraid. I mean, I think we are that. We are them. I mean,
Will's going to take that side. So, yeah, you got to make the case for, like,
I'm gonna go ahead and
you got to make the case for USC or.
Nah, USC ain't got them no more. I'm kind of liking the new wide receiver.
Juju, Robert Woods. Both went to USC.
Uh-huh.
Neither one of them are superstars in the league.
Juju? That's TikTok famous. We on TikTok now. We TikTok famous with
Corvette.
Juju. You know what it is with Juju, man.
Wait till he's got Patty Mahomes throwing him the ball.
Right? Hey, you gotta make it to the field first, man.
I can't wait till Patty see him dropping it. So he's gonna be like, I see my Big Ben.
Well, all right. So I guess you want to take it away? I mean,
I'm not scared to say it. It's DBU, wide receiver U at The Ohio State University for a reason, man.
I'll give you that.
And I mean, when you see what they've been putting out between Olave, Garrett Wilson, we said Williams is one of ours, gonna claim him. And then what's coming up with Smith and Jigba, you got Marvin Harrison Jr., you got Fleming still in the house. There's so much coming in.
And the ones prior though, so like now just the Paris Campbell, Michael Thomas, Devin Smith, we have some boys.
So you're making a very good case for us.
Michael Pittman Jr.
In Indy, yeah.
And it continues. It continues.
I agree with the tape. I just feel like it's some other good schools out there, possibly. You know, I think Alabama.
Now we're just reaching for straw.
Alabama got some nice weapons. They always find someone, but I mean, maybe not this year.
Well, shit, they had what? 2 Heisman winners, Devontae Smith.
I mean,
Suggs.
They had,
and who was the other one they had in there?
Who else was from USC? I mean, from Bama that was balling.
But you're right. That recent class.
Michi just got drafted.
That recent class from
Waddle.
Bama. There you go. Jalen Waddle, Henry Ruggs,
Ruggs, and
Devontae Smith.
What's the one that went? Ruggs. What's the one that was in Denver?
Cortland Sutton.
No,
Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah, Judy. He's from Bama. I mean, Bama has some nice weapons.
And we can keep going back in the day.
Dude, man.
Bama's weapons get in trouble, though.
Michael Jenkins. Think about all the Santonio Holmes, Gonzalez, Teddy G. It's a lot. Terry Glenn, all the way back to
Joey Galloway.
David Boston.
Man. So it's a lot that Ohio State brings to the table, and they're going to keep getting stronger. And like you said, you got C.J. Stroud. We've had all the way back from my man who was just there, J.T. Barrett. You had a lot of quarterbacks, even though they don't. Troy Smith,
none of these quarterbacks.
Justin Fields is there, and that's what I mean. That's the one thing that we can't get right now. And I think Fields is going to be a good case in a positive direction.
The thing about Fields is he's in my division, so I really don't want the best for him.
Right, I understand that,
Spoken like a true fan.
As much as I still love Justin, don't get me wrong. I just don't cook us, but I don't know how good he could be in Chicago.
I think his upside is good. It's not as good as the upside as with my man Sean Watson, but I think he has a good side as far as him coming in from Ohio State, where they don't usually produce quarterbacks.
Right,
I think he has a good chance of being one of the better ones.
Don't produce successful quarterbacks in the NFL necessarily.
Right.
I think from here on out, starting with Fields though, maybe Troy Smith got sick in the league, and then his career went another way. Braxton had to convert. Terrell Pryor had to convert.
Dude, and let's not forget, man, we're talking like Jefferson, Chase, all the other dogs. Like Michael Thomas was the best wide receiver in the NFL a year ago. Set the record for receptions 2 years ago. He'd been hurt since. So I mean, and Michael Thomas is going to come out angry and ready to go this year. I mean, Ohio State's going to be on full display. And the other thing I like, we just saw in the last couple days a recruit out of Pittsburgh High School getting a $9.5 million NIL deal with some Miami businessman. In Ohio State, Brian Hartline just signed these three of the top 10 wide receivers in the class. And they're not paying them. They're not throwing any, NIL deals their way. I'm sure they'll get something secured when they get here. But as you can see, like this high school kid signed a deal, and he's already going to be making more than your pros. Like Justin Herbert, Burrow, you got Trevor Lawrence, the number 1 overall pick, Heisman winner.
Yeah, I said that.
It's just bananas.
What makes him so special is all I want to know, man.
Well, you mentioned being able to put asses in the seats and sell tickets and sell jerseys and draw attention and blow up TikTok.
He got to be a 5-star recruit. He got to be the top of the top, and then the top of the top, they bring extra stuff.
So you just saying it's ridiculous they're throwing this kid that much money? He's still in high school.
You haven't done anything yet to produce. I mean, I don't know if your parents a booster. I don't know what his story is. I would love to look into it and probably should look into it. But to pay that amount of money, and like you just we seen the statistic, but nobody's making that as that's an NFL contract there.
Right?
And you haven't produced not one lick of anything in a collegiate athlete yet. So
and it's
that's a nice bit amount of money.
Dude, that kid,
tip your hat to that. So I mean, we had the same situation last year with Ewers.
Right.
We
And
got,
that Quinn
he
Ewers
was
got
making $1 million on the bench. He
he's
not the quarterback. You can't play. And then now he done transferred down to Texas, and he still might not be the guy because Arch Manning just committed there.
He got a truck.
The
He
hype
got
that
a
Arch Manning
bunch of
got.
cash.
He's gonna be. I think Arch Manning gonna be that guy. You know, a lot of people say Peyton is. But,
So good for Quinn Ewers, I guess, getting paid off his high school career, man. That's where we're at nowadays, I guess.
Yeah.
Paying high school kids for what they've done in school. Props.
Well, that's what we're
Athletes are getting paid, but not sure about the way this is going to go. It's going to get a little shady. There's all sorts of – you got boosters. You got the Florida Collective. This kid was talking – his agent was talking to the University of Florida. They've got this organization called the Florida Collective.
So they allowed to have agents now too?
Gang of boosters that's just roping together money and try and throw bags at these kids and hope you can put asses in the seats, sell tickets, advertisement, all those kinds of things. So, you know, I'd be more interested in seeing C.J. Stroud get a nice little NIL deal from some local company here.
He has one with a car company here.
Does he?
Where they threw in a GL 500 or some
Something
kind
like
of
that.
one of those nice Mercedes
commercial.
trucks that he has. He gets a couple of dollars plus a car every like 6 months, or they trade him in. But CJ has one. It's just not publicized as much as some of these other ones are.
Because CJ's already that dude.
You know, Ohio State's doing things a little bit different, and that's one. You know, they have. You look at the chart; they're one of the top recruiting classes right now.
Year in, year out, though. We're rarely at one, or never at one, but we're always like top 3, top 4.
Exactly.
We're always like right up there.
Top 10, easy. That's a good point, Will. You know, there's a little difference there you highlighted between the University of Miami and the Ohio State University. The Buckeyes doing it a little bit more class. We don't need to flash it all around. Yeah, we're going to pay these guys. Yeah, they're going to get deals. But it's not going to be some lucrative, obscene amount of money to get a bunch of eyeballs and draw headlines and play some showy, flashy kid to come in here and make a big stir before anything gets done on the field.
So what's the goal now?
Yep.
He was a
Quinn Ewers was a little bit on that.
He was a little bit drama. Like there were some negative headlines. And remember when CJ was struggling in the beginning?
Yep.
Like he got hurt. We got to see him play a little bit. Whatever. I think week 4, week 5, maybe I can't remember what week it was. Maybe against Iowa or something.
Something like that.
Week 3. He did get a look at Ewers. I wasn't impressed either.
Yep.
But he got a lot of negative headlines. It's just. You know, the play washes that out, and with Stroud, I haven't heard nothing from Stroud. So he
stays out of headlines for sure.
He's more known as a quarterback. Like he ain't got to his NIL deal ain't got to make him. He make the NIL deal.
Focused on performance on the field to get that payday later on. That's what the Buckeyes are about.
In college right now, is the focus as you coming in as a recruit. Is your focus on getting paid now, or is your focus going to be winning the national championship? I mean, it used to be we want to get together and join a team where we can win a national championship. Now is it to get paid?
Why can't I get the bag and win?
Because the focus it takes to win a national championship gets taken away by trying to get that big deal, by being flashy, by having to go do those commercials, by having to be on TV, by having to run promotions. It takes away from the focus of the damn game and doing your thing 4 a.m. every day till past sundown. You know what I mean? Grinding and working for it. I think that's what we're talking about here is a little bit of big distractions, paydays, those things. You used to have to just work your ass off, get on a good team, win a national championship, get drafted, and that's how you got paid.
I mean, I think if you want to keep that money, he's going to have to keep balling. But
agreed.
In a situation like this, where he went to Miami, right?
Yep.
Do you see them winning the national title next year?
In 2 years, maybe, if this kid can ball out. But and then we're talking about, and then we're talking about paying for championships, which is a whole, and that might be where we're at anyway.
I mean, they do it in the league.
Right.
The Rams just did it. No disrespect, but they did.
You nailed it.
Got the right pieces in place, paid the right players, and it happens. You got to take dollars to win.
Facts. That is not debatable. All right. Wraps it up for money and the NIL deals. We're going to keep it. That wraps up the NIL deals. We're going to keep it with the money. NBA draft was last Thursday. We talked a little bit about it on our show the day before, and we'll keep it Ohio like we like to do. NBA draft. Malachi Branham went number 20 to the San Antonio Spurs. E.J. Liddell went number 41 to the New Orleans Pelicans. So, let's talk about those two boys first. Keep it local. Do you like the fit? Let's go with Branham first. Do you like Malachi in San Antonio? Either of you.
Let me see. Yeah,
I like the
was
pickup.
going to
I
it.
think he's going to come in and he can make a team more of a stretching the floor just because of his size. So,
Won't be starting right away, probably.
Probably not, but I think he can work his way into that role of getting in. So I think having a good coach like Pop, he's definitely going to be able to, show some of his
Pop about to
athleticism.
retire, man.
I was
But
wondering.
until then, I don't know when he's going to do it. I don't think it's going to be in the next maybe 2 seasons, 2-3 seasons.
And they just
I think
traded
he got left.
Javante. You see that?
Yep.
To the Hawks.
So I don't know a lot about Javante Murray
Oh, he's a beast. I think he's gonna take a lot of the pressure off Trae Young. I mean, I know that's
in Atlanta.
yeah, because he's gonna be like the off guard. He's to help guard the better guards, like his version of Drew Holiday or his next or his. Like,
So who'd they send to San Antonio?
I seen
Gallinari.
Yeah, Gallinari and some other piece. I'm aware of that. It should be on my thing. It would be to report.
So around San Antonio, you got a shooter.
Lakers could target Kobe White, Kareem Hunt, Bucks
Kobe White.
Oh yeah, here it is.
So you got Malachi fitting in nicely there. Like you said, I like
Gal-
that with a little bit of
Gallinari has some
Popovich
picks.
helping him out.
Yeah, it could. It's a nice culture no matter what, whether they're losing or winning. The Spurs culture, for him to get drafted to a nice situation as far as professionalism, learning how to play the game right, and learning how to contribute the right way early. I think he's in a nice location. Now they're not going to be. This ain't the Spurs with the dunk. This ain't the Duncan era,
Right.
Or even the Kawhi era, which was short lived. But
It's going to have to be somebody's. They're in the middle of defining the new era, right? They're
It's not even
assembling
Murray
some
era.
pieces and seeing what can.
they're
Somebody's
in a
going
complete
to shake
rebuild.
it, right?
No, they're in a complete rebuild.
That's great. That's a
Trading
great.
Javante Murray.
And that's a great spot
Devontae
for
Murray.
Malachi Branham to be because he's blossoming his game. He's come on. I mean, just this year, basically since January, February when they got into conference play, he torched it. So I mean, excellent for him getting a new location, new house. Popovich, like you said, the best coaching crew around. I mean, it's nothing but positive.
And I
For
think
Malachi Branham.
as far as E.J. Liddell, I mean, he goes to New Orleans. We still don't know what we're going to see out of Zion if he's going to show back up. But teaming
He's
him
gonna
up with
show up.
somebody like Brandon Ingram and the rest of the crew that's
McCollum.
down here, I think that's a nice fit for him also. We may see him pretty early in the season. So,
Making a good impact coming off the bench.
Right.
6'7", picking up some boards. He won't have to do a whole lot, like you said. CJ's there, Zion's there, BI's there. Plenty of dudes to do the scoring, so he won't need to pick up that and try and get 15.
The way he
can
gets
just
minutes is
he's a
the
big body
hustle
boy.
plays,
Yep.
dirty work, get hustle, get out there.
Does he have that in him? Does he have that character to
Yeah,
get nasty and take care of it?
definitely.
Big Ten boy, man. An NBA draft, shit. That was like the Big Ten All-Star team, man.
Yeah, it was.
It was just boom, 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 boom.
And my favorite player
Your
in
boy.
the Big Ten. Like I said, I didn't know for sure if the Pistons would take that leap, but after I left the show, I seen a clip where he was asked, "Where would you like to be drafted?" Because he got a lot of history in Detroit with
Yep.
his family. He got family ties there. His mom played for the Detroit team, and his mom also played for the Fever.
Nice.
So he got Indiana ties. Of course, that's where the Purdue's at and stuff. So
Yep.
he got ties there and in both places. So he was comfortable actually going with both. But with what the Pistons is building over there and the young pieces they already got, I love what they got because I'm already a fan of Cade Cunningham. I believe Rookie of the Year last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
He was Rookie of the Year.
Yep.
So, they're going to have back-to-back Rookie of the Years. I
There
don't
you
know if
go.
that's been done before.
Oh, nice.
But, definitely because I'm telling you, book it now. Jaden Ivey, Rookie of the Year, man.
And man, it was hard not to like him. I don't know if you say he was just bawling his eyes out. He was just crying and crying
kid's
and
man.
just full of emotion. But
He's a
it was
Ja.
awesome.
He reminds me of Ja, Damian.
I think you're right
Derrick
about that.
Rose. I like. He's made of the right stuff. Leadership. I don't like a lot of his athleticism. Might give him Russell Westbrook comparisons, but I think the intangible part is where the Dames and the Ja Morants come in, and the Derrick Roses come in, because of Russell Westbrook and the intangible side isn't really what was his thing.
I gotcha.
Yeah. So I
What
think-
other draft picks you like?
Remember I told you about that number one pick?
Yep.
Good luck to whoever goes number one, which I was hoping it was Chet. I was hoping it was Chet, but they went with Paulo. And Banchero, he definitely, he definitely got whooped on by my Tar Heels twice at the end to end his season. But he's gonna be a nice little pick for the Magic. I just don't know what the Magic is gonna do. I really like. I told you Jabari Smith was gonna be the sleeper.
Yep.
I like Jabari. He actually fell to the third spot, and the Rockets got them young guns. And I like what Jabari Jalen Green gonna do. So.
Oh, the Spurs got Jeremy Sochan as well. Maybe it's Sohan. I can't remember how they said that. I like him though. He had some good personality, good character. I actually ended up watching most of the draft and like the red carpet. The suits those guys wear are nuts. This look ridiculous, but it's kind of cool fashion show. So I was excited to see Jeremy Sochan going to the Spurs. Might be good, helping Malachi. And the other
Duke
one I
had 4 players drafted in the first round.
There you go. That was the other one.
Yeah,
Ochai Agbaji going to Cleveland.
That squad was loaded, but they could not beat my Tar Heels, man. We was their kryptonite. That's because I like Bankero and them boys.
And that's what I was thinking too. You know,
AJ Griffin to the Hawks.
Big Ten, the best conference in basketball in college, but the Final Four was Big Ten free.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It was like
Big
nothing
Ten
but the
failed
draft
to live up to the expectations.
Right.
I mean, even
tournament-wise.
Jaden Ivey and Purdue,
yep.
who I kind of had going at least.
Dude, they got bounced.
I had
early.
them meeting Carolina, and whatever happened there happened, but they lost the round before that to St. Peter's. And
yep.
I also didn't like the Purdue game plan. They was trying to. They had I forgot who their big man was like 7'4" or something like that, and then they had a backup big that was just a monster. Their backup big was a monster, so they was trying to use their size against St. Peter's, and that's where they failed at. When they should have been trying to use them 2 guards that they had in Jaden Ivey, and I can't remember my other man's name, but I think that and Jaden Ivey also played terrible that game. He wasn't aggressive. He had turnovers. He wasn't really looking for.
That's St. Peter's Peacock Magic, man.
Yeah, man. I knew that was gonna come to a halt against my Tar Heels, but I just felt like the Purdue should have definitely performed better against St. Peter's, man.
You got any draft picks you like?
Man, just the one to the L.A. Lakers. My guy Max Chris. We keep talking about the Big Ten guys. He's coming out of Michigan State, so nothing spectacular, from my end of things as far as the NBA. I mean, it's going to be an interesting offseason as far as I'm more excited about the trades and
you're excited about free agency.
The free agency coming up.
Me too.
Ooh, well, we better
Last
talk.
Free agency went crazy. Lonzo Ball, DeMar DeRozan went to the Bulls. It was a lot of little moving pieces that happened last year. But nah, man. Why are you excited? I think I know why, but it's not gonna happen.
Why, as far as
why are you excited about
LA?
Yeah,
we seen
you got to on the table.
You
hold the ask about this. Why is this on this table? It's next to that too. Like, come on, man.
Well, you hold that answer because that's a great teaser, Jeremiah.
You hold that L.
We're gonna find out why Will has got this dumb Lakers hat on the table.
Yeah, LOL Lakers, man. I always wanted to say that live.
When we get back from commercial break, here on That's Debatable.
We just released our fall schedule on Friday. As you take a look on your screen, regular season starting in August against 2 opponents that we played last year, McKendree from Illinois and the former number 4, Indy. But here's where things get tricky. You ready for this? We play Cedarville last. Now, for those who don't know, Cedarville we played 4 times last year. Out of every other opponent, we played Cedarville the most. 1 home, 1 away, 1 in the conference final, and 1 in the first round of the NCAA tournament. But the games in black are home. The games in gray are away. Gerald, are you ready for this? The September 29th through August 8th is what's going to do me the most. It's a 4-game road stretch right there from Tiffin to Findlay, then going down to Kentucky. And then after Kentucky, you have to wake up the next day, catch a bus to Nashville, Tennessee to take on Trevecca Nazarene. That's going to suck. But we also have a preseason game. August 12th against, I'm not going to say it, but Ohio State University. I'm not going to say whatever the word that they patent is, whatever. I don't care. Against Ohio State University, the second time in a row. It's dubbed the Battle for Columbus, actually. And we actually did really well last year against them. Even though it's preseason, we held them scoreless for 86 minutes. And then they scored twice in the last 4 minutes. But here's the thing. I think they didn't know how good we were.
For a Division II team?
For a Division II team.
how and why did they give up so many goals?
Well, there are some games that you get into where, it's 7-0, and it looks terrible. Right. But
that's a touchdown.
Yeah, it is a touchdown. You're right.
Doesn't happen often.
But it's 1-0, 2-0. You can, the cliche in a game like that will be, when you can lose 1-0, you can lose 7-0. It's the same thing.
Right.
It's not quite the same thing because of you're going to be able to break down how many mistakes there were that resulted in goals against.
It feels different too.
It does feel different. But again, if you are a team like the Tampa Bay Lightning and you have the experience that you have,
right.
You can come back from that and say, that's a blip on the radar screen. That doesn't happen. Shouldn't have happened. It did happen. Now we got to get back to being who we are and what we are. Is it devastating? You don't know till the series is over. Like when the series is over, you're going to be able to look back at that game too and say, man, that was as big of a win as it looked to be at that time. Or you may look back and say, wow, that was a big win at the time, but it just kind of got the Lightning to refocus and get back to what they need to do. So when it's over, we'll see which way that goes. But you're right. It looks devastating right now. When you get beaten that bad, national television, Stanley Cup final, for a team that's not used to getting beaten like that.
Right.
So how important is home ice advantage?
Well, I think it's really important. I mean, Colorado wins their 2 on home ice. You go back to that Rangers series that the Lightning played in the Eastern Conference Final.
Right.
They dropped the first 2 in New York. Yep. Then they went home and they won the next 2. And then all of a sudden,
they won 4 straight.
Yeah, you're looking at a best of 5. And that's where you're looking to get to. It literally is the one game at a time. Again, it's all not cliches, but
right.
It is.
True.
If you get a win, if you get that first home win, then you can say, okay, now we're just down by a game, and we have another one to play at home. If you play that one and you win it, now it's back to even. You've got the team that was up 2-0 questioning what did we do to fall off of where we were.
Right.
You have the other team saying, okay, we've got our stuff together now. Let's go from here. So, home ice advantage is absolutely huge. And I think we've seen in these playoffs a lot where the home crowds have really pushed those teams.
Welcome back to period number 3 of That's Debatable. Ryan Dietrich, Jeremiah Bays, and my guy Will Ward. You know how we do. All right, third period after the second intermission, coming back hot. Going to dive right into NBA free agency and why Will Ward is excited about NBA free agency. But first, comment and question on the YouTube page. NIL, do they have to pay it back? We're going to have to dive into that. What I'm going to look up is Quinn Ewers. Came to Ohio State, got a truck, got some cash. Pretty sure he drove off in that truck. I think it'll be, from each contract to contract or whatever negotiation they have worked out. I do know that like Quinn Ewers signed a $1 million NIL deal that was tied to him signing autographs. And so it wasn't just like a one lump sum of $1 million. It was basically based on, how when he shows up to events, a certain amount of events, how many autographs he kind of signed. I think it was sort of doled out in segments that way. But as far anything they take, I would imagine they keep. I doubt they would have to pay anything back. Like the thing with this high school kid going to Miami, $9.5 million. It ain't just a straight, Donald Scrooge McDuck bag with a dollar sign on it. It ain't $9.5 million straight cash, homie.
All Bitcoin.
All Bitcoin, whatever. That would have to be, tied to certain requirement fulfillments. Starts on day 1, makes it through the season next year, etc. So, good question there from YouTube. We'll have to do a little bit more research, but I'm pretty sure it's on, contract to contractor negotiation basis.
You think it got anything to do with performance as well? Because obviously he ain't performed on the field yet.
Right.
What if he
didn't start?
Not say suck, but what if he's not quite, the top talent out there when he gets on the field?
All right. I doubt they would tie it to performance incentives just because they're so young. There's so many question marks, but we'll have to dive into some of that. So appreciate your questions.
You gotta know something just to jump out there with a $9.5 million deal, which might still happen over time. I mean, I know it's a $9.5 million the first year, or something like that.
That's the thing. That's why it's hard to make that. These guys are making more than NFL quarterbacks, sort of thing. Because obviously, it all at once, it'll come later. Might not be guaranteed those things. So, Good questions from the crowd. We like it. Keep it coming, please. But in the meantime,
La La Land.
why are you excited about NBA free agency, Will Ward?
Man, because it's a lovely thing to see that the NBA players, they take control of their own destiny. You know, we see how with so much scrutiny, but with Debo, if he's going to sit out, now you see guys saying, I'm going to opt in, I'm going to play here, I'm going to go this way. You don't know whether KD and Kyrie still going to stay in Brooklyn and move here and there. And it's still a good chance, according to my guy, Adrian. It's not Wojnarowski, but
Wojnarowski.
yeah, you know who I'm talking about. But they saying it's up to the higher ups. There's still talks that Kyrie can still land to play with his former teammate, the King, in LA still. So there is still hope in La La Land. I know a lot of Laker fans were waiting last week and this week and was kind of getting, maybe a little sad when they seen that Kyrie opted into his contract. But there's still hope. So
No, there's not.
And Russell just opted into his contract, saying that he may stay. But I think that's a little bit of trade leverage right there.
No, it's not.
We're going to see, man. It's a lot happening in La La Land. And for Kyrie
For the Clippers, you see the John Wall signing?
I
That
saw
was
that,
big.
but what's John Wall? He ain't did nothing since.
The last time he played, he averaged 20 and 10. So
Was
if
it
he bring 20
that was probably before COVID.
How many playoff wins did he get that year?
that year, I don't know, none. It was the Wizards.
Oh,
But
no playoff wins. Is that it?
not that year,
All right.
no.
And keep an eye
That's
on
what
the Lakers,
matters.
man. Keep an eye on it because you're going to eventually. I don't think AD can continue to have this.
So
year
AD for
after
Kyrie?
year. Is it what for Kyrie?
What, 80 for Kyrie? Who we giving up?
We're going to see, man.
What, Russ
We're
for
gonna
Kyrie?
see. I think you got a
Stop.
good chance of Russ. But
Heavens,
I
no.
think Kyrie wants to be in LA and re-team up with LeBron.
Who told you that?
Man, I can't give you all my information.
Nah,
man. I can't give you all
what's
my
the
information.
source?
Kyrie, man, he was on the phone with him earlier.
Nah, because when I talked to Kai,
We
he
were
told me
talking
he
about-
liked playing at the crib, and at the crib is back in Brooklyn.
The Flat Earthers Club
Yeah,
was
the flat
hanging out.
earthers. Whether it's a flat earth around or Earth, either way it go, we're in it, on it, whatever.
AD for Kyrie.
Why not? They both
Dude,
are
I mean-
unavailable.
dude,
both
Ryan
are super
Lindhurst
talents.
Says that there's
Neither one are number one guys. Both of them are super talented,
You said it though.
and
They're
neither
both
are available.
unavailable.
Whether one's gonna, call off or the other one's just gonna get hurt. It is what it is, man.
Who plays more?
Go or trade Brown for Kyrie. Go ahead.
Who plays more games
Brown not
next
leaving.
year, AD or Kyrie?
Kyrie for sure.
Kyrie played more games, even with the half.
If
not-
AD can
No,
get
who's
healthy.
I mean next year? Who's going to play more next year, dummies?
Yeah, Kyrie. I was understanding where you was going with it. I'm saying Kyrie because you're not going to have that same problem we had this year with the COVID incidents and having to figure out if he can play here, if he can go on the road and play. You're going to play a lot more at home.
Dude, monkeypox come around. We have half season and shit.
AD got to stay healthy. That's the biggest thing with him. And if he can potentially stay healthy, you will see a totally different team in LA.
But man, I hate that. Man, as a fan, I hate those question marks. Like, well, he's going to be great if he can stay healthy. That's the
the
wor-
biggest
man.
question mark of any team.
That's what makes
all
Nikola
players.
Jokic so great. 82 games every year.
And still fourth seed. He shows up every day and still in
More
rhythm.
playoff wins than John Wall.
Okay, that's John Wall. Like,
Jokic is the MVP. I guess it means
You was
something.
talking about
82
how
games.
John Wall's a big addition to LA.
if he could bring 18, if he could bring 12 assists and 16 to 18 points a night, that's a solid dub.
Will Paul George show up this year?
He showed up last year when he was healthy.
Will Kawhi show up this year?
He will. He wasn't
Hey,
unhealthy.
shout out and happy birthday to Kawhi
He got
Leonard.
nothing but-
Today's his birthday.
Oh,
so
nice. How old
shout
is he?
out to- he's
Like 29. I think he
He's
might
getting up there.
He ain't
29,
30. He's getting up there. He's like 28.
He's aging very well.
I think he's around my age.
Yeah, dude, yikes. That's crazy.
But nah, man, the Clippers is gonna be solid. The Lakers though, nah, they don't have nothing to make the trade. They don't got no trade leverage. They don't want to trade their 2026 pick.
But I'm kind of with you. It feels like Kyrie wants out. I ain't talked to the man in our Flat Earthers meeting today, but I feel like he's on. He signed. He accepted his player option to stay in Brooklyn,
I told you he was gonna do that.
but he can still leave. So
he can't leave without just demanding out. I don't think he
that
wants
is
to demand.
definitely. He's definitely not above
He's
that.
on record saying he's not going to leave Kevin. But I feel like if I'm in the position of the Brooklyn Nets, I wouldn't have offered him the full max contract either. Number one, you got to show me you committed because you ain't shown me you've been committed since you've been here, bro. You haven't. Not the first year he was healthy, but No, KD wasn't. I think he got hurt. I think he didn't go to the bubble. I think he last year he was 2 years ago he had 2 sabbaticals. One with the stuff in Washington, and then another one they never announced it, but I believe he had a baby, so that's why he took that one. But and last year with the non-shot situation, and he didn't take that sacrifice for the team. It made
didn't take the sacrifice for the team.
Exactly.
Right.
And you want him, but you talking about
And
you
want him in LA then, huh?
Yeah, so that's what I don't get.
Being a team player and you want him in LA.
I don't care that what you saying he's
I'm
not
just
a team
saying,
player.
in the position of the Brooklyn Nets owner, this is why I'm not giving you your max deal, because you haven't lived up to your side of the bill.
I agree with you.
You haven't been able to deliver, so why should I deliver a full? Now, don't get me. Does he deserve the money? He hasn't earned the money, but is he talented enough to get the money? Yeah. But he wasn't about to go. He wasn't about to leave 36 mil on the table. Basically 37 million.
Right.
Basically 37 million on the table
6 million.
just to go play for LA for 6 mil. He would have left 30 mil on the table and go play for them.
Well,
for
that
7.
was
that was never happening.
That was
like somebody
I didn't
said
buy
something
that
about
BS
somebody said something
anyways.
about Kyrie don't want the money anyway. No. Listen here, I'm not giving up 30 million if I'm not pressed about
Also,
money.
that
or not
$6
anyway.
million deal, I think that was BS. I don't know how Woj got that he would.
Because
do that for
he would
$6.
have to opt out his
No,
deal and to
nothing
go
like that.
be able to play for the Lakers, because the Lakers is so much over the tax. He can't just sign with them outright. And for agency, $6 million is the only thing
Kyrie
available.
ain't taking a pay cut.
Yeah, exactly.
Normal people keep the world going, but those who dare to be different lead us into tomorrow. Words of Kyrie Irving. He
said
different, man. He's different, and he's
Exactly.
going to be different. I don't really feel like
Did
Kyrie.
you finish that? I mean, in the beginning of that, wasn't
I'll
it
see
about
you
him
in the
staying?
fall.
I thought, it wasn't something about him coming back to Brooklyn. It was nothing about the Lakers, though, right?
He said he's going to see us in the fall. He didn't say where he's going to be at.
But he'll be in Brooklyn. Going to somebody's crib, because I feel like they're not gonna open up in Brooklyn. They're gonna play opening night.
You think
because
Kyrie starts the year in Brooklyn
100%,
and finishes the year in Brooklyn?
100%.
Start, possibly. Finish, no.
Okay.
No.
He don't finish the
He
season
won't
in
finish in
Brooklyn.
the Brooklyn.
Who trades for him? Because if you
We'll
really
see,
think
man.
it can't
Time
be the
will
La La,
tell.
it won't be La La
Somebody
Land. That's
gonna
for
get
sure.
hurt.
I think I see this nonsense with him going to Philly. No, why would he go back and play with James?
No.
Why,
All right.
you gonna send him to? No, heavens no, bro.
I got other questions. I want to talk about Jalen Brunson.
Getting paid in New York
Yeah, what do you think about that? So New York Knicks kind of clearing out some cap space.
for Jalen Brunson. That's the problem.
Why is that a problem? What's the problem with that?
I mean, I got love and respect for Jalen Brunson. I'm just saying, for if the Knicks is really trying to change their franchise, but maybe you throw in Brunson with Barrett and Randall, you got
You
another
never know what's going to happen.
first round exit. Like, that's
Right.
about it. They need to get my guy Derrick Rose up out of there. That's what they need to do. But I just don't think if the Knicks is trying to become the Knicks, and because that's still the number one brand in the NBA, or the number one arena at least,
Maybe.
they're trying to, because the Madison Square is a mecca of basketball and all that crap. But I just feel like
That's
if
debatable.
If they're clearing up cap space, you don't clear cap space for a secondary, third option role player. I just don't think you and then pay him that much money. Just let him stay where he at. If they're really trying to build to grab a superstar like they've been trying.
I think they have the superstar there they're looking for. They're starting to seem like they want to build around R.J. Barrett a little bit more, let Cam Reddish
Super what?
come off the bench or start more, and then you team up with Brunson. I think that's the direction they're going in. I don't know if they still want to let
Randall?
Randall, yeah.
There you go.
I don't think he's going to be the focal point of the team no more. I think they tried that, but I think they want to start moving more towards R.J. and letting him lead the team.
But
They're
when it
just
was
trying to-
focused on Randall, they made the playoffs.
They're just trying to add Duke guys, man. Just keep bringing them in. Fucking add them up.
They
Reddish
just need to
and
go
Randall,
get
right?
the Duke guy to complete the big three. They already got Reddish and Barrett.
Get Zion with him.
Kyrie, the Duke guy.
Good answer.
I mean, I'd rather him go to the
Nailed
Knicks.
it.
I'd rather him go to the Knicks.
That could happen.
But that'd be slow, because then they could have just signed with him and Kevin could have just signed with the Knicks.
And he wouldn't have to get
Don't nobody want to
vaccinated
play
'cause
for
they
James
changed the
Dolan
laws for
anyway.
it.
That's
Don't nobody
where
want to play
it's
for
at.
Dolan.
I can't disagree with you on
Don't nobody want to play for Dolan. He kicked out my man Charles Oakley. Like, I remember that on the side. Like, nah.
It's dysfunctional in New York, and even when New York start getting hot, they like the Browns. They find a way to crash it all. So I don't know. I think they trying to build around RJ. I think that's where they're going with it.
And that's
So,
the problem.
so ultimately, it doesn't matter what the Knicks do. They're just going to stay the Knicks like
Because
the
they're
Browns.
clearing out cap space for Jalen Brunson. Like, say that out loud and tell me that sounds right to
But
you.
all right, so recent memory bias, like Jalen Brunson balled out in the playoffs. So, I mean, for what, 8 games? I mean, that's how some dudes
he held
make
it down
contracts.
when Luka left. He held it
Right.
down when Luka was hurt in the first few games
So,
of that series. He dropped a couple 40 balls. Like,
Right.
don't get me wrong.
And so that right there, that's getting him paid, man.
He's
right?
he's a solid player, starter possibly.
He is, too.
He's solid built as well.
He's stout.
Hard fight. His dad was in the league. But I'm just saying, if you're clearing cap space for Jalen Brunson and you don't have
It's a big reach.
like are you telling me that Jalen Brunson is the Knicks' missing piece right now?
Knicks missing a
Yes,
lot. And
they
it ain't
are.
one player.
That's what they're telling you.
That's the
I mean,
problem.
that's what we hear.
Instead of clearing out cap space, they need to figure out how to get that owner up out of there. That's what they need to
Ain't
do.
gonna happen.
Yeah, that's the problem. And Thibs is probably gonna get fired soon, unfortunately, and that's my guy. So all those ex-Bulls that he keep bringing
I was
along
gonna
with him,
say,
Todd Gibson, come back to Chicago.
Well,
Derrick Rose, come back to Chicago or go to Milwaukee.
let's finish out NBA free agency with your boys. What are the Bulls gonna do?
Hey
What do they
man,
need to
hey,
do?
just sit back and chill. I'm seeing a lot of Rudy Gobert rumors. I don't know. I don't know how to feel. I didn't when we was talking Lonzo and all, and DeMar was just random. So like certain things, I'm gonna just sit back and let my new front office cook. I think they've been winning ever since they joined the squad the last 2 years. With the first year clearing out the Otto Porter did just get himself a ring, and he's finally been performing. But clearing out Otto Porter. That Otto Porter deal that the Wizards is why John Wall got his money too, but the Wizards pay Otto Porter and he was on our books. That new front office got him up out of there, and then they traded for Vooch, and then they brought in Lonzo Ball, brought in DeMar. They made the right draft picks. I just keep watching and learning. I mean, we're not a Super Bowl. We're not. I don't think
They are not. The Chicago Bulls are not a Super Bowl contender. You
I
are
give you
right.
that. Yeah, we're definitely not.
That's a fact.
But I don't think we're contending in the East either. Second round, possibly. We didn't make. Depending on matchups, if we get another Giannis type matchup, who knows? Unless we get something
All right.
freakish. But
So Bulls just holding steady, keeping the ship going.
nah, I think they're planning on making moves. I
Gonna
just
develop.
don't. I want to watch the moves prosper versus me predict it with my actual team, because a lot of people want to troll about my Knicks my Nets, and the Clippers is back, so my Clippers, but not my fault.
You got a lot of teams.
Yeah, but I really don't. I'm really a full blown Bulls fan, full blown Bulls fan. But
right.
I just want to sit back. I would like us to go after Ayton. I don't care what he did at Phoenix. He could come and play in Chicago, but I would like to see us get bigger, stronger, and be able to stop guys like Giannis from going crazy. Like
Nobody
we don't
can
have.
stop Giannis.
I mean, I get that, but
I know what you mean.
the Celtics did make it harder for Giannis.
For sure.
We didn't have that. We literally let him eat.
They stopped him.
Only thing we did was take out Chris Middleton, which is why the Bucks ended up losing eventually anyway. So that's all the Bulls did in the playoffs.
All right, NBA free agency. You final thoughts?
It's heating up, and I don't think it'll.
Tell me what your real team
Ooh,
gonna
no,
do.
yeah.
What the Cavs?
And they just got to try to sign Colin Sexton. I think if they let him go, then they're going to have to start rearranging a lot of stuff. But I think they should try to bring him back.
Him and Obaj.
That's
You like
crazy, 'cause I
Obaj
think they
going?
should trade him because he's not a max type player. I think he's not a waste of a spot because he is their somewhat leading scorer, but I don't think he's their best player. I really love Darius Garland,
Right.
and I like Okoro.
Garland came on big.
and that's the biggest team in the NBA. They literally had Allen,
They just added,
Mobley. Allen, Mobley, and Markkinen all on the floor at once with my man LeVert from Columbus, and Garland. So I like their lineup.
it's all 6'6", 6'7", and up. And they just added KU to Baji. He's like 6'10". He's stud down
they're
low.
going big and long and lanky. Hopefully they can get some
You want
spot
him
up
to sign
shooters.
Sexton though, dude? I like
him as a point guard.
He
I like
can-
his
I think
upside.
you could get a lot
can
back
tear
for
it
him.
up, man. He's dynamic. He's
Like,
fast.
Depth.
He's
You could get depth for
explosive.
him.
All right.
They need to sign somebody like Nicholas Batum. They need some veterans in that locker room to start building.
More than Kevin Love.
More than Kevin.
No, Kevin Love actually needs to leave. He's done his duties in Cleveland. No, I'm not trying to he's literally
He needs
the
to
last.
retire.
Once they got up once Tristan Thompson got up to Kevin Love,
I
yeah.
think K Love is more like.
I think he
your-
made
your
another
Udonis
research.
Haslem.
Yeah,
You know
speaking
what I
of your
mean?
Lala, yeah, Brian, make that phone call because I think he should
Hey,
go
bring him
back.
out there.
Nah, it'll keep him right where he is. Nah.
Dude, stuff's legal out there. Kevin Love would like it. He can just hang out on the bench, not have to do much.
Nah, I think he had
Practice
he had a
squad.
good role with the Cavs, and he played like down the stretch. He played some big minutes, and he hit some big shots. He could still stretch the floor. I think he could still be a pivotal. He could have a nice role off the bench for any contender. The Lakers aren't a contender, but I'm just saying that because that's where LeBron is.
Man.
But I think Kevin Love could be solid for a lot of the teams that's trying to win a championship.
Like a backup quarterback.
Like he could be. I could see Kevin Love in
L.A., I like
Milwaukee,
that. L.A. be a good fit
in
for you.
Boston,
Miami, I see him.
Miami.
down there.
Yeah,
I was wondering
Miami.
about that, what our Heat's going to do.
I mean, he's an LA kid, so
Right.
hot somewhere where it's hot. Phoenix, he'd be nice in Phoenix. He'd be nice in Golden State. Remember when they wanted to trade Kevin Love for Clay? Remember back then?
All right, that's NBA free agency.
Yeah, man.
Here on That's Debatable. There's a hot WNBA game tonight. Seattle Storm and the Las Vegas Aces are going at it. Two of the best teams in the league. Seattle Storm, I think, have won like 6 of the last 8. The Las Vegas Aces have dropped 2 of the last 3. Breonna Stewart leading scorer in the WNBA at 21 and a clip. So, keeping you updated on the WNBA because we got to show love to the ladies out there. They can hoop. In other news, a Colorado Avalanche.
Breonna Stewart is doing it all.
Yes,
man.
she does. A Colorado Avalanche fan was banned for life from Ball Arena for spreading his friend's ashes on the ice.
Wow.
The ultimate friend, man. Find yourself a friend like that guy's got. I love it. And the ushers came up, asked him, "Hey, what was that?" He was honest with them. He's like, "Yeah, hey, it's just my friend on the threw my friend's
dream
ashes
was to
out
be-
there.
was to be
Zamboni
poured on
cleaned
the
it up."
ice, so I went and poured him on the ice.
I love it, man. So
Wow.
that brings me to my question for all the sports fans out there too.
Wow.
That's debatable. Question of the week, topic of the week. I'd love to hear some comments and reactions and some feedback on this. When you die, what sports venue would like your ashes to be spread at? Feed it to you guys. Take it away.
Man, I gotta give it to you first, man, because it's a wild one.
I got mine.
You want to be on the ice too?
No, well, yeah, that'd be
Pebble
good.
Beach.
No, yeah, bury me at Skyview. That's what I got right here, dude. That's the Pheasant Skyview Golf Course. That's the golf course I grew up on in Alliance, Nebraska, small town. It's basically a pasture with grass in it. So yeah, you can spread my ashes at Skyview Golf Course, baby.
Man, I'm not that.
That's just I spent all my time out there as a kid. My grandma dropped me out there every day in the summer, just hang out all day. I mean, I spent a lot of time there, so that's where it's at.
Just bury me in Bud. And I'm talking about some high moment. I'm gonna help you pass your SAT.
Bury you at Mile High.
Plant me, grow me, smoke me.
All right. Shout out to the 420 crew.
Roll 'em up and smoke 'em.
I'm talking. Do me like Ivory, man.
I was gonna add.
I'm not gonna get hit by no bus either. I promise you that. But I don't know, man. I don't not the United Center. That'd be weird. I'm not that big a fan of the Bulls. Nah, my favorite team
Bank, right?
my favorite team of all of my teams is really my Vikings. But if they don't give me no Super Bowl before I die, they don't deserve my ashes. I promise you that. That's just the facts.
Or what? Yeah, what jersey we gonna throw?
So I
in
guess
the
bury me
casket?
bury me in the shoe, man. Bury me in the shoe. I
There
got
you
to
go.
see my squad win 2 championships.
All right.
I'm born and raised Ohio State. Why not? Or wherever our next home base is, bury me at That's Debatable.
By the end of it, it'll be Justin,
Pour my ashes.
Justin
pour my-
Jefferson jersey over the casket.
Well, it depends, man. I mean, I might have a new favorite by then.
I don't know, man.
I mean, Justin Jefferson is not my favorite. I mean, I don't know if he could ever eclipse Moss, so it's gonna have to be a Moss
There you
jersey.
go. All right.
That's for sure.
All right, Willie.
And I had to.
Unless he bring me a
I
championship.
had to tap into my surfer, man. I want to be buried in
the
sprinkled
ocean?
in the ocean, man.
All right.
In the
If
ocean.
anywhere, I can't just Paul Brown Stadium. Just like you said, I'm a hard 513 Bengal fan, but you ain't about to trample all over me, sacks and all that. Nah, sprinkle me in the ocean.
All right. Some deep sea fishing. You catch a big
Yeah.
marlin, toss you out
No,
there, something
man,
like
bury
that.
me in Bud. I'm serious.
All right, well, there we go. We got two non-sports venue answers. So the rest
I
of
don't
my
know,
fans
Barnett
out there,
Recreation Center, somewhere at the crib. Like,
and it's a little easier if you're a
That's the
golfer
home.
too. Like golf course, you can
Yeah,
get
you
that
can get
done.
golf course.
You know what I mean?
Eastmore Academy, the Archie Griffin football field. Dome, though. Somewhere like that.
Yeah, the old life. Right? No way.
I'll go Yankee Stadium, man. Just off of that's a story. You got the Babe, Yogi Barbera. It's just something about.
I'll take you to Pebble
Big
Beach,
Red. The Big Red Machine down in Cincinnati was still there, but I don't know. If baseball venues seem like it'd be more of a nice place instead of a football stadium, I don't think it'll fit for me.
There's a lot of my crew out there. I know probably like Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska for sure. Some nut jobs. But
That's a different one, man. I never thought about being buried inside of.
I keep saying buried, but we talk about cremated.
It's all the same.
Me, man.
Sprinkle me in. I don't care.
Chef, get your chef in bed.
I sprinkled my parents in the Scioto Downs River.
Nice.
So,
Yeah,
I would have let if I could have asked my mom, she probably would have said the shoe. So
right.
I don't know. It'd probably be somewhere that really touched home to me, like Barnett or Eastmore.
Right.
Where I really found who I am.
A good buddy of mine, in his bachelor.
Baby, old mess.
Right.
Sprinkle me in the score on air.
His dog had passed away, so we took his dog's ashes on this big hike up to the top of some mountains, like 13,000 feet. Let him run. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, it's got to be someplace that's got some sentimentality, and obviously through sports, fanhood, your emotions, your livelihood, your life, all those things. A lot of sentimentality gets built into that. So if there's any spots out there, any of you folks want your asses spread, hit us up.
Sound like you said your asses.
Same thing.
Hey, random that the NBA finals and the NHL finals both had a fan banned for life. One for looking like somebody else.
That's right.
Which he did nothing wrong. And honestly, he did the most viable, solid a friend could ever do. So in my eyes, he did nothing wrong. And both of these men got banned. I feel like the real Clay Thompson, please stand up. And then somebody from the Avalanche, who's your man? Kemper, where you at?
Somebody help him out.
Somebody, man.
Take him on a private tour.
I just feel like when stories like this be big, somebody from that team should step up.
in.
Like somebody should feel like somebody should have a heart and feel that. Like, dang, y'all gonna ban them for what? I mean, I'll get your lifetime tickets here.
And I got one. Speaking of awesome shit that happened, this would be a great day if you answered the door to your house. So somebody in Denver today opened their front door and they got this big ass box on their front doorstep. Opened it up and the Stanley Cup was inside of it. So they packed it up and they were shipping it to one of the players, dropping it off at Landeskog's house or Eric Johnson's house or something, and
dropped it up at the wrong
next
house?
door. It ended up at the wrong address.
Wow. I would have liked
So some
to tag
neighbors
me in
just
that
opened this
clip.
box
I know
and
that's
hey,
a clip out there.
We just caught that
Yeah.
when I was rolling down here right before we started.
Yeah, tag me in that clip. I got to see that. That's hilarious.
What else you got? Anything? Anything from the producers in back? Where do you want your ashes? Lambeau?
Yeah, I figured that'd be a pretty obvious one, Lambeau Field.
Nationwide? The press box at Nationwide?
No,
The broadcast? Maybe that'll be it. Once
big old G.
When we have
if
when
you
we have
get,
a
if you can
Yamo
get to
Center,
Augusta, you can take half my ashes to Augusta, even though I've never been there. That's for sure. Maybe that's a golf thing. I don't know. Just because we're outside.
Gotta be.
Something to that. I don't know. I'm just weird. But all right, fam. That's it for me. I'm Ryan Dietrich. This is That's Debatable. My guys Jeremiah Bays and Will Ward. Behind the desk, as always, our trusted crew.
man, this is That's Debatable. We are That's Debatable. See you next week.
Paper toss.
Too late, man. We already cut. Got to get my accuracy back up anyways.